morning and welcome to Daybreak Africa on KAFTAN television. My name is Miracle Odunayo.
And yes, well, top of the morning to you once again. Yeah, my name is Ikhonede Joshua Adeji. Welcome once again to Daybreak Africa from our studio in Ondo State, which is the sunshine state of the nation. Yeah, a bit of clumsy. I wanted to start a bit clumsy this morning, but no clumsiness. I've been clumsy all through the morning. I don't know the reason why I've been clumsy all through the morning. I didn't ask you to pray for me.
I'm trying to be nice.
Funny enough, this weekend I tried not to go out for the party.
But you were tempted.
No, I went. I said I was going to spend 1 hour. I spent 2 hours. No, I don't. I think I spent 3 hours, 4 hours.
Really?
Like that.
I thought you said we should rest this weekend.
Yeah, I rested. I tried. But then after Saturday came Sunday. Sunday I had lot of engagements, activities and all that. I didn't even know when I soaked myself in and got home by 6. And to a very large extent, I'm here again, a bit clumsy. Maybe that's why I'm clumsy this morning.
Wow.
Just misplacing things where I'm not supposed to put them.
Anyways, I had a lot of activities too because my pastor actually welcomed his first child.
Oh,
so I was doing
all these churchy people.
You know, I was doing the sister
vibe.
Yes.
Don't worry, continue. Don't worry. When are you going to welcome your? Don't worry.
Don't worry. Leave that one for
after talking stage. After talking stage, we'll get there. After talking stage, we'll get to the marriage, the first child.
First propose, after propose, go for
and
I don't know.
Yes, will marriage not come with a proposal first? Okay. I don't know why young ladies are. That's what
I don't know.
That's why I was asking a question on Saturday because just when I was about returning from the place, a guy was proposing to his girlfriend and he knelt down, and the girl was like, ah! I'm like, Auntie, didn't you know before? Like when they started you should have known. I don't understand.
What you plan on getting married?
So you should know in advance. But then what concerns me, before they will say they will come for me, it's Monday. It's a Monday, good morning, Monday, good morning, Monday. As we are going to office today, we'll be discussing on weekends, we'll discuss that one. I think this week on Daybreak Africa we have lots of exciting discussions and all that, even to such kind of lines. But then new INEC chairman is in town.
That's gone. Good news. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, it's good news on paper, but I think it will be good news after we begin to see his actions and inactions. You know, things like that. It's just like when I was being ordained in school for something, appointed for something actually, and people are trying to clap at the beginning. They don't clap for him yet. Let's wait till he finishes. So I think
we can now say, he lived a good life.
Yeah, he lived a good life. Oh, God. Though my dad used to say that thing, that until the day you die, you can't say actually you did a good life. Let people talk about the life you lived and all those kind of things. But then it's after he leaves office, we know he did well, he did not do well, and all those kind of things. But let's still see.
Pray for strength for him at this point.
Yeah, I can't even pray for strength for him. We put pressure on him for strength. Don't worry. We will put pressure. We don't pray for some things. We put pressure on you to do the right thing, which is very, very important. But then we'll be looking at this holistically on Daybreak Africa today, especially the old discussions that precedes his appointment. Before we get there, let's take the reports of the day. After the reports, we come back for the discussion. So please stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the show. Just join us, still Daybreak Africa, and yes, it's time to go straight into our discussions for today. And today on Daybreak Africa, we will be looking at something that is still a very topical issue in the Nigerian polity as we speak. Now, one of the things that transpired is that as at this weekend, as at last week, let's say last week, we experienced that a new INEC chairman is in town in the person of Professor, who is actually a professor of law, Joash Amupitan. And a whole lot of conversations has come out across the nation based on this new appointment, looking at the fact that it took the Council of States to endorse unanimously Amupitan, and Amupitan happens to be a professor of law. But then, before then, a whole lot of conversation had been transpiring around the country, talking about the fact that the nation Nigeria does not need a president as we speak to elect or select who the INEC chairman needs to be in Nigeria. Instead, an independent body needs to be in charge of these selections, because at the end of the day, the president himself could be a competitor in the elections himself. So imagine you, who happens to be a competitor, electing the referee for yourself. That scenario, though it has been the scenario in Nigeria for a very long time, but then a lot of Nigerians are coming out, especially IPAC and a lot of bodies coming out to talk about electoral reforms and a way of electing an independent body that will select the INEC chairman. But we'll be looking at all these, as well as general conversations that surrounds this whole appointment of the new INEC chairman. And to discuss with us today, we have with us a tech entrepreneur who is also a political analyst, a public affairs analyst, a friend of the house, and the person of Samson. Fadele, welcome to the show.
Thank you for
welcome to the show. It's good to have you here.
It's good to have you in the actual sense.
It's been a while.
And finally, we have
it's good to be here.
It's good to be here. And finally, we have an INEC chairman too as well.
Okay.
That it's which is
good.
But let me just get your view when you because at first it was an acting chairman who was from the East in the actual sense.
Yeah.
Then within the space of 24 hours, 48 hours, the Council of State met and boom, a new INEC chairman, Amupitan, Professor Amupitan, who happens to be a professor of law from the University of Jos and is a Kogite, let me say, from Kogi State in the actual sense.
That had been in the news for a very long time. The guy in question. So the process had been known for a while. So coming 24 hours or 48 hours after the previous chairman left, I don't think that should come as a shock to anybody. In fact, he was even waiting, he must have been waiting for probably the final approval to assume office or something. So, and I don't think that kind of scenario is new to us in Nigeria. It's been happening since the days of Obasanjo, even possibly before Obasanjo came in 1999. Obasanjo single-handedly chose Maurice Iwu. You get. So I think Jega came during Jonathan's regime. Then Mahmoud came with Buhari. I think that was the second term of Buhari.
Yeah, 2019, second time of Buhari,
yes.
Mahmoud came there.
And that same person
was who brought in Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
And so the power must change.
But then we saw Tinubu use this pattern this time around, the Council of States, which includes all governors of states, as well as some ex-presidents, as well as the Senate president and all that, all together sitting and then unanimously endorsing Amupitan.
I still want to believe that whatever it is they do, this is in the best interest of everybody. Yes, especially those in the room. And there is always the larger influence, which is going to be the influence of the presidency. So the issue is, even if we have an independent body that is saddled with the responsibility of choosing the INEC chairman, do you think they will not be influenced? So at the end of the day, everything still comes back to the presidency.
Who gives the final approval?
All right, so let me just go back a bit, because before the appointment of the new INEC chairman, the High Park were of the opinion that there should be a committee, more like an independent body, to choose their chairperson. So the question now is, do you feel, from your perspective, I'm throwing back the question to you, do you feel like if there is an independent body who is saddled with the responsibility of choosing the chairman of the INEC, do you think we can trust them more better, or they will work effectively even more than ever before?
That's what I just said.
Okay.
Because it will take the presidency to pick the members of the body. Like the members of the body, where are they coming from?
Okay.
Is it the public, the general public, that will choose them to say, go and choose the INEC chairman for us? Or the presidency that will constitute the body and say, okay, we have given you the responsibility of choosing the INEC chairman? If everything still goes back to presidency giving them the responsibility to choose, it's still within the power of the president to choose. So that is the president himself is going to be the one to elect. Because the chairman of the body just needs to be instructed on what to do. We are going to consider 6 people, but this is the person. That's all. So they will do all these things, everybody will see it. In fact, they can even put it to the open, put it live, and people watch how they do the, but whatever it is, what will happen will still happen.
All right, before we move on, I want us to talk about you. What do you have to say about the regime of the immediate past? INEC
chairman Mahmood Yakubu.
Mahmood did his best. Okay. Mahmood is not a perfect person. Nobody is. But Mahmood is an excellent guy. Yes. So whatever he did, whether good or bad, you cannot please everybody. He did it excellently. That's all. He did some reforms in INEC, which are not 100% very okay yet. But I believe some improvement can still be made over time. So to me, Mahmood did his best. It's left for us to now begin to improve on whatever it is he left behind. But like I said, he's not a perfect person. None of us is 100% perfect. He has his flaws, and we will not condemn him to death for that. So the issue is, he had never stood anywhere to say he's perfect. And at some point I think he was like trying to make up for some of the issues they had in the election. He came to the open to agree at some point that they had issues. Which at least shows a bit of integrity. Yes, and they on their part were even trying as much as possible to ensure a level of credibility, using beavers, he came up with majority of those ideas, saying, okay, from the polling unit, let us be uploading results directly into the INEC portal. And it was just that at the end of the day, we had issue with the portal everywhere, but at least he made attempt. The attempt might not be 100% fruitful now, but I believe that as we continue to improve on what is on ground, we'll get there one day. The guy really tried, sincerely, he tried his best.
But I think this is the first time I'm seeing someone say he tried his best in the actual sense, because at the end of the day, when you see a lot of Gen Zs out there, maybe because of the pain they had towards what happened in 2023, even 2019, 2019 too as well. I remember Peter Obi and Atiku were on the same ticket, and some of their people talked about the fact that Mahmood was cheating. Because I remember that 2019 was even strange. On the day of the election, he cancelled the election.
Not the only person in charge of those things. He had a lot of people working with him. There might be a lot of cheating, and Mahmood himself will not be aware.
Because of the way it's structured.
Yes. See, the problem is when there are issues within the system, it becomes the fault of whoever is leading the system, whether or not is directly involved. That's the issue. So if you are leading, look at what happened to JAMB. Was it last year?
Yeah, that was last year.
At some point,
early this year.
Early this year, not
early this year.
Just
a few months ago.
Yes,
a few months ago.
A lot of people told this guy to resign. Get the f away.
And the guy was a good. To me, I feel he's the best JAMB chairman we ever had in Nigeria.
People they did the ones he could when he was there. When this man came, he made further reforms. And that is expected, because new person will come and further reforms will be made. But JAMB had issue. Small that everybody came out. Hey,
leave there.
That's the issue. So now it does not mean that guy was the one solely responsible for the issue. He was not the programmer programming the website. He was not. In fact, majority of those things, all he did was approve.
Just to approve.
He was not the one setting those things up. He was just overseeing. Now the problem that one department will have that will affect every other department, nobody is holding any other. Now you don't even know the programmer who probably did not perfect what he was supposed to do, and there was a glitch and issue happened
twice, 2019, 2023.
Now the issue is everybody came
for the man,
because he's the leader. So everybody believes that whatever happens to that system is him, and he should be held responsible. Nobody is saying sack the person in charge of the system that caused the glitch. Nobody was looking at the operator. Nobody was looking at the programmer. Everybody was coming for him.
And they might never know anything about tech.
And that's the issue. That's the problem. So sometimes Majority of these people who are holding significant positions in government, they get a lot of aid for problems they are not even aware of sometimes.
But yes, shouldn't he be aware?
The issue is,
because no, I'm asking that question, Samson, because I know you are tech savvy.
Yes.
And I know you teach tech, you should know more on tech. Now, 2019 it happened.
Yes.
On the day of the election, I remember my gadgets, everything was outside already. I was already moving around. Today's going to be a great day. The next thing, I just got a call on the spot when the election was to start that it has been cancelled and been delayed for 1 week. Number two, it happened in 2023. You even collected money, lots of money, high budgets to ensure this thing performed well. The IREV, the beavers, and all that, still same thing.
There are a lot of things that could be responsible for that. Issue of national security, anything. You get? Now, I am not talking as a politician now. I am talking as somebody who is trying to view things from different perspectives. Now, anything could have happened. There might be intelligence that says probably there's going to be issues. And you don't want to put life of people at risk.
At risk,
and you are not prepared, you know,
for
to curtail issues like that. Why not put it on hold? What if some of the systems are not ready? What if materials are not enough? What if, although those things are not supposed to happen, this is not the first time we are having elections. You should know the materials. That will be enough. You get? Now, but all these things, anything can happen. But we cannot rule away the fact that the power that be also might view things and say things are not in our favor yet. Until we are able to put things where it should be. Nobody
for the sake of the umpire.
Yes.
The actual umpire.
Nobody goes anywhere. And you see, anything can happen. But what I want you to know is that 70% of the time is not the fault of the person in charge. Is either the fault of power above or the fault of people below.
And people below sometimes their problems are narrated.
Yes, who didn't report issues on time, thinking they will be able to handle them until it's too late. Say, we thought we'll be able to handle, but you know, handle. And that's the issue. And it becomes the problem for the organ now to begin to explain tire, because sometimes he doesn't even know how those things operate.
But this is one problem I think I have with Nigeria currently. Someone submits a proposal to you about, because definitely you will know that most of the time when they talk about their tech innovations, both JAMB and even, I remember 2020, I told someone, the truth is our professors in Nigeria, they are not tech savvy.
No, majority of
them. And it really failed woefully in 2020 when many of them decided to begin to use tech means to, you know, teach when everybody was locked up at home. I remember how difficult it was for them to teach. Extremely difficult for them to teach. Especially in federal universities, state universities and co.
It's not their fault.
Many of them become heads of these departments. They don't really know much about these things. And still they fail in that aspect and collect money for it.
Their time is winding up, and there is a limit to how you can push them sometimes. You see, my generation is lucky because our generation, let me say the millennial generally, we are the bridge between the old and the new. So it gave us the opportunity to blend from the old into the new. We saw the beginning of internet.
Yeah, true. Did you use time to go browse?
You bought time at the cafe.
You bought time at the cafe.
We saw the beginning of internet. We saw the beginning of tech as a whole. We saw all these things came.
I was telling someone about Yahoo recently that I knew when Yahoo started.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
Now, compared to people who were born into it, majority of the Gen Z were born
into it,
because it had been in existence before they came. Now, these people who are talking about, they had been in existence decades
before it all came into existence.
So they grew up analog. And you see, integration is easier when things are just face to face. But this one now requires a lot of media, from one medium to another to another to another, and it causes a lot of problem. Somebody that cannot even recharge his phone,
and we have to tell you to help you to recharge.
You are now telling them to upload is not online. That's the issue.
So that was a coolie and as a tax for them.
Yeah. So I think the problem we now have in Africa is that these people, they believed solely in their experience, and they believe that their experience supersedes
any other idea that is coming in.
That's the problem. So that thing did not give room for balance. When Trump came recently, and he needed to make some research into what was happening in government before his arrival, he brought Elon Musk, and he told that guy, find me capable people.
And that guy,
not just anybody. They were not just picking anybody. Go and look at all the people
he picked
inside that place. All of them were less than the age of
22,
maybe 30.
They were 19, 18,
19, 18,
15,
they are so in pack, all of them. 25 at most, I guess. These
extremely tech savvy.
Did within the space of 2-3 months, what they were able to unveil, you will not believe it. But look at the Nigerian government system. Everybody is that same age range. Senate president is using forky stick. President is above 8. That's the problem.
The president above 70. Let's be guided.
Above 70. Now all of them are that 60 something, 70
upwards.
And so those with the technical know-how, they really do not have direct space. So the space they were giving them, they were, below. It's not even directly below the president. It's below those who are now below those that are below the president. So they are far away
from at least handling the whole stuff at the top.
It would have been easier. There are professors in their 40s, in their 30s in this country. There are people in different sectors in this country who would have done better. But where's the opportunity? Yes.
So you're saying age matters.
Every sector in this country they are vibrant individuals, young minds. These people do not have questionable characters. These people, they are upright and they have good records. Yes, go to academics, you will find them. In economics, they are there.
And still, we don't give
banking,
them the
they are
opportunities.
there. Finance, they are there. Tech, they plenty. These people, whatever it is they have built, they built from scratch. These people, they have worked all through their life, trying to develop one thing or the other. Developing JAMB or INEC will not be a burden.
Because at least,
I think the opportunity.
I think it will be a bit of burden from them because many people contest for high positions.
This is not about contest now.
So for you to employ someone there, they want to at least have a bit of influence with that person. When politicians come with their
that's
dues.
where the issue, influence. Yeah. You see, politicians in Nigeria do not want to put responsibility in the hands of those they cannot control. You see the youth of these days, each day, and I think that is one of the more reasons why they seem to be afraid of them. They don't want people they cannot control. So if control is the reason why they choose you, then there's going to be a problem. There's limits to what you can do as an individual, because somebody somewhere is pulling. You cannot even. You want to do this, they say don't go there, don't go there, don't want to cause problem. Don't go there. Somebody cannot give you small power. You can't collect power. And that's the problem. Majority of the people you see in places. It's not happening in Nigeria alone, no. It's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
You will see Minister of Youth in some African countries. It's almost 70. And you said you begin to wonder.
What was youthful about the Minister of Youth?
Now, all these things, they have implications. And so if the federal government or probably the power cannot outrightly have youth to take those positions, why not give them the direct assisting power? Whatever age you want to put. But majority of all those places that requires the input of these young minds, give them director of this, director of that, let them direct.
And if they direct, it's very certain that they can do well.
Under the supervision of whoever you feel has good experience. It will be better. It's not like just cutting them away. Yes, majority of these people you saw today, they started leading this country at tender ages.
Yeah.
Gowon was
in his 30s.
When he became, he was not even married. He got married as head of state. Obasanjo the same thing. Muritala Muhammad, all of them,
a bulk of them, who are very young. Now, he was 18 in his first school participation.
Till today, they are still one way or the other involved, attached to the corridor of power. And that's the problem. If you had been, your face had been in government since the 80s, what are you doing? They know they retire for your side. That's the problem. That's the problem. So it now became difficult for the young minds to bring innovation into those places, because those that are there, they don't even want to be replaced. So innovation cannot come.
And once innovation is not coming, there's a bigger problem.
Improvement. There's no improvement. There are people who could handle INEC far better without external influence. Far better. And all those things, they will function well. But these private companies, they hire these young minds and they are thriving. Foreign companies, if Nigerian guys, young minds, if they are not useful enough, foreign companies will not be paying huge amounts just to, employ them to do one or two. And these people, it's not like they require much for them to employ you. Send your portfolio. Let's see what you have done before. You are able to present something reasonable. They give you the job and they pay you in dollars. If they are not good enough, do you think foreign bodies will employ most of them? A lot of guys have been taken away from this country because they got better opportunities out there. And the government was just sitting, not doing anything, looking at these people, and you watch them walk away, and you later wonder why things are not okay. They cannot be okay. You need everybody. The strength we have in Africa is the youth, because they constitute, more than 80% half of the population, the entire population. And
they're the major workforce. But then we'll look deeper into this in the actual sense. Let's take GoStart first. Immediately after GoStart, we come back and we discuss on this. So please stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. If you're joining us, it's still Daybreak Africa, and yes, it's time to go straight into our discussions once again. And I hope you enjoyed GoStart, and I hope you learned one or two things from GoStart. I hope you're going to do something what you learned from GoStart. But then it's time to return to our discussion, which has to do with the appointment of the new INEC chairman and analysis of some of the conversations that actually transpired that precedes his Emergence. That is Joash Amupitan, Professor Joash Amupitan, who happens to be a professor of law. And we've been discussing with Samson Fadele, who happens to been taking us on a very great journey on the analysis of some things. Now, one of the things that bothers me majorly about the appointment of Joash Amupitan is the fact that Mahmoud Yakub already had a lot of precedents, lots of plans, lots of, even towards these new elections coming up. We know that this year, late this year, Anambra will be having their elections. We know early next year there will be elections at Ekiti State, there will be elections at Osun State, and some other states across Nigeria in the actual sense. And we are still having issues around the IREV, the BVAS, and many of the new tech innovations that are coming in. Do you feel, because though I looked at the profile of Amupitan, born April 25, 1967. Jumu, LG of Kogi State. Amupitan is married to Yemisi. That's 4 children in the actual sense. He's a professor of law, and to a very large extent, he's 58 years of age. Now, for someone who is to man a unit that already has tech innovations coming into play, and do you really think, because I don't even see him having any root in tech, is majorly, because checking on his profile, is majorly a lawyer, a senior advocate of Nigeria, professor of law. Do you see him really, being able to lead INEC to the point where tech will be a very strong role, in the new elections we'll be having in Nigeria?
Well, that will be dependent on a lot of factors, you see, and but his own personality will be one of the major factors. Who he is
as a person.
Yes, his own reservations against tech and innovations,
yeah.
let's say, will also be a major factor. Like, how much interest does he really have in using all those things? Will he not get there to see them as too much wala and then
just
set
scrap
them
it
aside and go back to
the analog,
what it used to be? Now, if we have somebody who is progressive, we are not seeing him perform, so we cannot really, and I don't think he had had a public office earlier before now. So if he's a very progressive person, I think we should expect more. You say he's out 58. 58 is not too bad. It's not bad. Don't let me say too bad. It's not bad. But the issue will be more of who he is. Is he conservative? Is he progressive? You see, the majority of the people who really do not want to expend resources, energy like that, like they just want to do things, get result and go. If what he wants to do is get result, do election, announce it and go, maybe we should not expect much in the area of tech development or whatever. But if he's kind of person who wants to leave a structure behind, who wants to improve
on the
existing structures, I believe majority of the things he'll be working on, now as the new INEC chairman, is to improve what he met on ground, such that when he's coming to deploy them, we will notice that he had done a very
great job,
very good job. I believe that coming to office, he must have done his own work. He must have looked into some of the things that have been operating
before
in INEC before it comes, and then I want to believe that there's going to be arrangements that will be made by the previous administration, handling over to the new administration, and when it comes, I believe they will be able to resolve certain issues and know what was on ground and where they are going to. If that process is a very smooth one, it helps the incoming to take off, and the takeoff will be easier if the transition is proper. Like they don't have to be looking for this, look for this. It has been made available already. This is the report on this, report on that. If you have accurate reports of what is on ground, then the next line of action will not be a problem to you as the incoming. So if and only if is a progressive person, then I think we should expect more. The age 58 is still very good, and then that age range between the ages of 45 and it should actually be 55, but 58 is not bad. They are the bridge between the old generation, and the new, which is the majority of our leaders, and the new generation, which is the majority of the youth. You see, they should be the bridge
And with perfect communication skills to each body.
That was why in the 2023 election, I would have probably, it would have been something better for Nigeria if we had a president within the range of 50, 55, 60, and mostly probably highest 65. It would have been better, and the power would have been closer to the youths who are the majority. You see, having president above the age of 70, it means the distance between the vast majority of the people who are the youth that constitute up to 70% of the population, the gap between them and the leaders who are just few but aged is the gap is too wide,
extremely wide.
So there is a lot of imbalances. So now these imbalances will trigger both sides, where this side will be seeing the youth as being rude, and then the youth will be seeing them as not listening. You just don't understand what we are going through, and that's the truth, because when they were the age of this youth, things were not like this. A lot of things have changed from the 80s. Majority of them were in their 30s, in the 70s, and the 80s. Now you are in your 70s, and these people are just climbing their 30s. Some are just even coming to the 20s. So the gap, imagine like 40 something years difference. So I want to believe that if the new set of people that will be handling some of these important things are closer to the youth, then we will have an increased level of productivity, because engagement towards the youth side will be more.
Yeah, than usual.
Because they are closer to them. To bring them in will be easier. They still have a level of energy that can vibe with, the youth, that can push them to work, because they can still be involved with them. You see, majority of the people above the age of 70, they can only sit back to watch people work, and it doesn't work that way. You see, people are more productive, especially the youth, when whoever is in charge is there with them. He still has a level of energy, can move this, supervise this, into this, can appear in person. Somebody will not need walking stick to come to office. Yeah. So now, if we are able to bridge this gap, sincerely, I was happy in 2019 when people like Fela go to UK.
Yeah, to contest as president. No,
today
he works for the current president also, like on the background. Yeah.
It is what it is. Now, you see, this country, a lot of things are wrong, and we're not seeing them. And it's not just in Nigeria; it's everywhere. Look at beer in Cameroon. You get?
Yeah.
Look at the one in Uganda. Look at Rwanda. Look at all of them. Then look at people like Taoui.
Well,
look at Senegal.
Yeah, a very young one. Yeah.
Look at Mali. Look at Niger Republic.
But now, you can't use a military setting to compare that of a democracy.
It's not about military now. We're just looking at a demography now.
Yeah.
Which is the age.
Age range, yeah. But most of these people you're talking about, like if you talk about
I think Paul Biya, 60 something.
Paul Biya also started as a youth.
Now,
all through power, and he never left power.
Can you imagine?
Until today
now,
is.
Are you telling me that the experience of Paul Biya in the 70s
is the same
as
today?
Youth is the same experience as we are having now as youths?
But in Africa, we are used to the kingship monarch kind of style.
It doesn't work that way. You see, if it is monarchy, let it be monarchy. Let Paul Biya be king.
And let someone be a prime minister.
Now have prime minister.
Then we
will now say, that's how they do it in the UK.
Because we know the royalties are still the authorities of the UK, but the prime minister works for the whole country.
Why not just crown the guy king?
Which is a good idea for many African countries.
Yes.
Too. Crown these guys kings and
crown all of them kings and give us younger prime ministers.
Like maybe Museveni of King. Let me be Bobby Wine, prime minister.
Make everywhere things for the better. There will be bridge between the monarchy and the people. Look at France, for example. Macron had a lot of issues, a lot of pressure, but he was still trying to manage all
at the same time
because he's younger. Do you know they have had prime ministers that were older than him and removed them within the space of how many months? Pressure too much. It is what it is.
So looking at the father-son relationship in a political system in Nigeria currently, and looking at the fact that he was appointed, though we know that the Council of Chiefs was there,
and the Council of States and all that
was there. So do you feel like he can work independently without, dodging under the father-son relationship and all of that?
Well, independence is the purpose of INEC. That's where the clarity of INEC is embedded. Independence. Without the influence
of anybody.
Just tell them how much will you need to effectively conduct the coming election. So billion. You give them. Whatever they do or refuses to do is not anybody's problem. Just do the election, make sure it's credible, give us result. Whoever wins comes to power. That's how INEC is supposed to be. You see, that independence is the purpose of INEC. Because if not, we could just have said the contestants, all of them could come out, and we could just have chosen some people from our constituency and they go just like the way they do primaries and they pick president for us. But it doesn't work that way. So inability of the INEC or whoever is in charge to work independently is a problem to everybody, because the mandate will be given to the wrong person, which is the person that will have the bigger influence now. If influence is supposed to affect INEC, whoever has the biggest influence will own the whole INEC. So the influence could not be anything. It could be monetary, it could be power, it could be military, it could be anything. You get? But INEC is not supposed to be dependent on anybody. They are supposed to just tell the government this is what we need: money, security, and so, and that will be all. And leave them to do their stuff.
But then you talk about money and all that, and sometimes there's this adage that says that pays the piper will definitely dictate the tune.
No, not in the case of INEC.
But then I want to ask one question majorly there in this aspect, because I was looking at what IPAC was saying, many of the bodies were saying, especially the bodies that were all involved in this issue of electoral reforms and all that, which I think I was telling Prince Alex recently that you see these electoral reforms you guys are going for and all that. I saw Peter's Peter Ako's view to and then you're saying that they have to do this, they have to do that, and I'm like, many of them were suggesting to a very large extent that the judiciary and some civil bodies, non-governmental organizations, should be the one to come together and elect one INEC chairman without the influence of the president, without the influence of the Senate.
Submit the list of those that will be considered for that. Is it going to be thrown open and people will come and apply like the VC?
I was looking at their own proposals, because they talked about ex-president, ex-this, ex-that, civils, they all come together, endorsed by maybe each angles, each constituency within the country to come together, then elect one person. The person will become the INEC chairman and all that. Now, do you ever think a time can come, if it was by their suggestion, do you ever think we can be able to create such a body, that we create such a personality without still the influence of any political body?
Well, what did President Tinubu just do now? He did the same thing. He brought all the states
governors
together, brought some few ex-government officials, brought them, and that was exactly what happened. What else do you people want? That's exactly what you're
So you feel Tinubu's pattern is the fairest of the past?
Seems to be.
Seems to be. Oh, I like that statement.
Seems to be. Yes. But the issue is INEC is supposed to, work independently. And the issue of he who pays the piper
dictate the tune.
No. It shouldn't be. Jonathan paid piper in
2015 was a revolution.
So
a political revolution.
That's how it should be. And once they tell you, say, you congratulate the next person, move. In the spirit of sportsmanship. There's not, see, this life is binary. Positive,
negative.
You are not coming to competition to say you must win. That's no more a competition when you have undue advantage over other people. As that competition, you are coming to election, result is ready by 6 a.m. Before the election, we are already seeing it. And that same result was what they read in the evening. What's the when people do election, give him the mandate. It doesn't make sense. We have seen it happen in this country.
Multiple times. There are some we can't just talk about.
Result was ready before election. The people came, they cry, even post the result online. And that same result was announced in the evening. You want to kill yourself? No. We knew. Yes. But it is what it is. I believe that we are making progress. At least this would have been the very first time that the presidency will look into putting a body together to take that responsibility of choosing the next.
Yes.
So is the progress to an extent?
So if the president gave them the name of who to become or not, it's not the problem of the general public anymore. What happens now is that the presidency, the president in himself, is not the person who just woke up one day and said you ban.
Become an chairman. At least he created a body for that.
So now the responsibility of choosing either the right person or wrong person is shared between all the people that were put together to choose. So if problem arises later, the president has the right to say, I didn't choose.
They chose.
I
wanted to even ask this question, Major, because I think we are rounding off. Now, we know that 80% of the elections we had in Nigeria since 1999 till now, ended up at the courts. In fact, from 2015 till 2023, we have a record of elections that was overturned at the judiciary. Now we have a professor of law as an INEC chairman. Though sometimes I feel couldn't Mahmoud just select someone to court? If this result, we have someone that is a professor of the courts. This result where they read, so if you don't like now we have a professor of law at the ends of affairs. Do you think he can have the capacity to ensure we don't even go much to the law courts this time around?
You understand that the issue is capacity or not. What matters is the integrity of the system. Whether the system is just or not, it will not please everybody. Those that are not pleased, they will not please. Definitely,
true. Even elections that it was obvious, people took it to court.
They see cash one. Let's go back to 1993. Everybody said this was the most
free and fair. But it was still a no.
So it does not matter whether it is 100% accurate. Those that will not be pleased will still go to court. So it's not the problem is not resting on the shoulders of those in INEC to choose whether political parties will decide to go to court or not. You get? If you want to go to court, go to court. In fact, it is even your right to go to court. So why would you not exercise it? If you then go to court and court says you win, fine. If you know you don't go your house, that's the issue. We have seen people who, we have seen judgment that took government from this person to this person.
Yeah.
And we have seen judgment that found the person on seat.
And we've seen judgment that actually took the number 4 on the list.
So become
the governor. Let's keep it. And he's still the governor till today.
Yes, so it happens. It happens. But I just think we should look more into reforming the electoral landscape of this country. You see, the last reform made by Buhari before he left reduced a lot of pressure. They already told everybody, even if you go to court, if you pass 6 months, anything you must conclude. Whether they want to uphold the person staying or they want to remove
6 months, everything.
The prayer no die. He died. 6 months, everything was settled. And that's a step, a bit. It's not like this person would have spent more than half of the entire tenure, like it happened in Oyinlola's case. That guy has spent more than 3 years.
Even Agagu upon those things, you have almost spent was it a year, 2 years before the final job.
Another person now came. At least that problem had been sorted. If anything will now happen, 6 months can still be overlooked. You get so small like that, little here, little there. We will get there. We will get there. So we are not expecting the overnight turnaround of everything, but at least little by little, let us take progressive step towards perfection. And I think we are getting there. It's just a matter of time.
Thanks so much, Samson, for being a part of this. I wish I could take much questions, but then it's already time, and they are already telling us, hey, it's time. So let me just update them for today. The directors are saying it's time, so it's time. Thank you so much, Samson. But then it's time to take sports. Yeah, and I know many of you who love sports actually will be very excited for this segment. So enjoy sports. After sports, we come back on Daybreak Africa, and yes, we'll say our goodbye. So please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back from that break, and I hope you guys enjoy sports and the guest segment that we had earlier with Samson on the new appointed INEC chairman, and it was a lengthy discussion.
Yeah, lengthy, said a lot.
Yeah,
said a lot, a whole lot in the actual sense.
But what do you have to say about the new INEC chairman? Because I want to know your own take.
My own take is, at least a professor of law, but then I think INEC should have had a few things like that, because there are people that would have been working with INEC underground, like in the departments, would have done a lot of things with INEC, like their staffs for a long experience, knows the stories, knows what and what, and then they are bringing someone totally from the outside to be their head again. I feel we should look at means of employing people within the system that are already there.
In Nigeria, we have people from different unit entirely coming to be the head of another department. Like, how?
Sometimes it scatters. I don't know what he's going to bring to the table. I don't know if he's going to improve on some of the things Mahmoud had done. Mahmoud was an improvement from Jega too as well. He did some things that Jega never did. At least Jega started with the BVN. I said BVN with the NIN, not NIN in the actual sense, voters card, the proper permanent voter, the PVC. Yeah, that was what I was trying to say, the PVC. And then when Mahmoud came, aside from PVC, we having beavers and all that, the tech, the IRF and all that. Though the IRF had some issues, but now we're having Amupitan. Well, let's see what Amupitan brings to the table. And though I believe, being a professor of law too as well, law opens you up to a lot of things too. So anyone that is a professor, you should be progressive in thoughts and all those kind of things. But let's still see. It's still a long journey to see what actually is going to present. But then, from the conversation so far, I think to a very large extent, we can never have a total independent electoral commission, because no matter what, if we are still going to be selecting from the presidency, and I don't think any democracy in the world actually has a totally independent. Let's be truthful, because no matter what, politicians on the undertone they will still influence one way or the other, no matter who is in charge, whether the president or anybody that is still affiliated to the president one way or the other, they will use. So they are just middlemen.
This father and son relationship in Nigeria politics currently is really, really
well. It's just no matter what, politics is politics. Politics is about influence. So no matter what, they will be influenced one way or the other. And well, it's just even in where it's not really loud, but on the undertone, there's an influence. So let's just leave it at that. Maybe until we begin to have electoral colleges in Nigeria, we electoral colleges to our politicians too as well. But let's leave it at that to a very large extent. We'll keep having more discussions on this, but we'll meet tomorrow on Daybreak Africa. My name will still remain Ikhonede Joshua Adeji.
And my name is Miracle Odunayo. Bye
guys.